Whether you're hitting the beach or doing a staycation, I'm sure you'll need some great summer books to read.
Yeah, you always got to bring them with you to the beach, right? Joining us now with some juicy celebrity tell-alls, edge of your seat mysteries and thrillers is Essence Magazine's editorial projects director, Patrik Henry Bass. Welcome to Arise 360.
It is always good to be here.
And you always,
my favorite places.
Oh, thank you. And you always bring great books. So let's get started.
We got
Maya
treats.
Angelou, the phenomenal woman.
This is hot off the press.
Really?
This is a book that Essence has produced. Maya Angelou, her phenomenal life and poetic journey. And remember when Arise did that incredible coverage of Dr. Angelou's memorial service, you guys called me and I couldn't make it because we were closing this.
Oh.
And this is the very first book that, Dr. Angelou herself hasn't written to really capture her life, and we felt compelled as a brand to really honor her memory and so much that she contributed to our country, to the world. So we reached out to some of the best writers in the world, women who have been influenced by her, women like Pearl Cleage and Asha Bandele and Rita Dove, and they all came through. And then we have amazing photographs in this book, some photographs that you've never seen before. And we were privileged to get approval from her estate to republish a 25th anniversary essay that she contributed to Essence Magazine that just really nails it. I mean, and as we were working on this book, the team that did it, we just had chills coming down our spine that, this great person, this great poet, this great activist, this great storyteller had meant so much, and we were just hoping that after all the headlines were over with Oprah and Michelle Obama and Bill Clinton speaking at her funeral, that people would really, really remember why she was so important and so significant. Not at the end of the year in December, but right now. So summer was the perfect time for us to do this.
Summer was the perfect time, and you have it in both hardcover and you have the soft copy.
Wow. And it's more of a journey through her life.
And just read the quote from the back of the book, which we felt really nailed it.
I can't believe my good fortune. I am so grateful to be a black woman. I would be so jealous if I were anything else.
And there are all types of ditties and great quotes, especially quotes that she's given exclusively to Essence Magazine, because as I noted the last time I was here, she was with the magazine from the very beginning.
Yeah, she's fierce. All right. Moving on to...
Switching gears to Toni Braxton.
Toni Braxton, yeah. I mean, it's all right.
Listen,
I should probably say
my heart, say you love me.
Toni has heart problems.
Yeah, really. But she also has, like, her children and stuff. Like
she's quite a survivor. And I grew up in that era of the celebrity tell-all. I don't want to give my age away. And this one by Toni Braxton is right up there with some of the more juicy stories that we've read over the years, because it's not just her, spilling the tea. It really is about her documenting how much she truly is a survivor. Lupus and, marital challenges and bankruptcy and,
Twice,
and to have this amazing voice. What I believe always makes a good memoir is a connective tissue. Like, what is that thing that sort of carries someone through their life? What is that secret fear? And Toni, who has one of the best voices in the business, was always afraid of using her voice to speak up for herself. So, and finally finding her voice to speak up for herself, she's liberated now. You can sort of see that.
A little maturity.
And it's so courageous of her.
In the IRS.
And it's so courageous of her to put her personal life out there like that.
And she really does.
We got to move on. We got Unruly by Ja Rule.
Unruly by Ja Rule. Jeffrey Adkins, who grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, who just got out of prison last year. This is a true tale of redemption. I talked to Ja Rule at the Essence Festival. I read this book after talking to him. This is why I'm recommending this book, because this really is a journey to manhood. He really is trying to be a good father and a good husband. There are a lot of good messages, a lot of good takeaway in this book, I truly believe.
So are we finally getting our 40 acres?
40 acres. 40 acres is a thriller.
Nice.
And this is going to be a shocker, quite controversial. Dewayne Alexander Smith, a new voice. Watch out for that name. This is about a secret society of African-American men, very prominent African-American men, who've developed this club where they have enslaved whites.
Ooh.
Really?
And they have this little country club called 40 Acres. And everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong in one weekend.
For who?
That's true.
You got to read the book.
Oh, that's exciting. I want to read that one first.
You got to read the book.
Yeah, Secret Society.
People are going to be talking about this all summer long and into the fall.
Might have to take that one home.
Right.
All right, moving on to the pop
Yes.
thing.
Right, Michael Jackson Inc., Zack, OMalley, Greenberg. When I picked up this book, I was was thinking, okay, this is a book by a guy from Forbes. This book is riveting. Who knew that there were so many secrets that you could find out through Michael Jackson's financial transactions? And Michael Jackson was quite a genius with money, with his instincts about business, and you sort of get to see how it all went awry with that famous Martin Bashir documentary, The Michael Jackson. Yeah, everything sort of went downhill there, and he was planning quite a comeback. This is where you truly follow the money, and in following the money, you really do get a sense of Michael Jackson's legacy, not only as a musician, but also as quite a talented man.
Yeah, we had Zack on the show, and we learned so much about him and how much of a genius Michael Jackson was when it came to business.
And I'm sort of happy about this book because Michael Jackson really did care, which is something I didn't know. He really did care about kids in the inner city. I mean, when people talk about Neverland, of course, there are all the salacious aspects, of course, that are covered, but there's a lot there that he did with his money that I'm glad that's documented in this book.
Okay, The Sea Grape Tree.
The Sea Grape Tree is by Gillian Roy. This is the third in a series. I just discovered this series, and I'm calling this sort of like The Mighty Quinn. You may be too young to remember the Denzel Washington movie, The Mighty Quinn. It's sort of like the Mighty Quinn mixed with Murder, She Wrote. There's this little sleepy fictitious Eastern Jamaica town called Largo Bay, and there's an heiress there trying to build a sort of like luxe B&B, and someone's murdered, someone's kidnapped, and there's a wonderful bartender slash sleuth named Zachary Myers who gets all up in the mix. So it's a little rum punch and a little beef patty.
I see this as a movie already.
Absolutely.
I see it's a made-for-TV book.
Now, one of the best books on the table is...
None other than...
Yes.
I'm very proud of this book.
Truly.
This is the 0 Degree Zombie Zone. This is my first children's book. I don't even know how I got here. How I got to this table, I'm going to be sure.
Right. We put it on for you. It's okay.
But this was really an attempt for me. As a book editor at Essence Magazine, I get children's books all the time. And when I was approached to do a book, I just said to the editor, I want to see African-American children have fun. Because I know that there are people whose parents are struggling with drugs and all types of challenges. But I was just remembering when I was a child back in the 19th century that you still can have fun. You still can sort of dream and lighten up. And it's Bakari, Tariq, Wardell, and Keisha, and they're fighting zombies to save their school. And a lot happens in one day. And look for this book next month. And I hope all the Arise viewers will support it.
And it also will help kids get through a bad day they're having at school. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's some adults push in. That book is yours.
All right.
Is that how much you love kids?
Yes. I will bring this to my daughters.
He's gonna
kids. My daughters love stuff.
One for mama, one for the kids.
I'll take this one. Patrik, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Books. I'm going to take them all home.
Thanks so much, Patrik.
Thank you.
All right. This is Arise Entertainment 360.